Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. Let's talk about Moonlight defeating the first Shattered Goliath in Legends of the Mara. So we'll pull up his POV. He actually recorded this and was so gracious enough to share it. Thank God. But basically, he's blitzing his Sidian boss. It's got like 73,000 HP left, so it'll take a little bit. He's using his abilities. Seems like he has two. He's pulling up the leaderboard here. Again, he is playing on tier 1, so he's using his coda on tier 1. Obviously, this is gonna defeat Sidian I guess fast because they don't have that much. I guess they relatively have less HP than on higher tiers. We can kind of see the other deed, we can kind of see the wall, the rank, as well as the Shattered Goliaths killed, along with the time it takes to kill them, as well as, the current Shattered progress. And, there are bounties too. So based on your ranking, you can also get additional loot. But we'll talk about that later. I wish I could open that up, but, Shattered gameplay is down at the moment. So we'll just take a look at this from this perspective. But, again, he's using these abilities, blitzing the Sidian boss, and it's about to blow up here. Very epic. So he's basically defeated the boss. Damn, this is a historical moment, essentially. And we can kind of see the first loot box for the creation season. And, again, it is the creation season. So there's a master chest, and I do think these chests are, I think they are rewarded with certain rarities depending on how fast you're able to defeat your Shattered. So obviously maximizing your DPS is really important. So we can basically read here, the number 1 Sidian defeated in 2 days, 6 hours and 25 minutes. So super epic, big congrats. But also you'll want to take a look. The next Shattered appearance on his deed, I guess for tier 1, is 48 hours. So 2 days. So, obviously we know that your environment tier dictates how fast. So maybe other environment tiers it appears sooner or later. But again, we know that we can use Mist to accelerate that. So you might be wondering what's inside of the box. What's in the box? And he actually showed us a screenshot too. So inside of the master chest was 2 legendary engine parts, 1 Serum City box tier 1 is of rare rank. So, if you have a battle ally, if you have a Serum City Mutant Hound, if you have a Bored Ape, if you have a Mutant Ape, I guess if you're playing Serum City, all in all, you guess you have some loot there. So I'm not sure how that will interoperate, but that's certainly something to think about. But additionally, we also have the rare hanger part, as well as an uncommon hanger part. So, this is just one of the 3 kinds. I guess this is the two of the 3 kinds of loot that we can kind of get from fighting the Shattered. I'm not necessarily sure, but I did run a poll asking you guys what you thought and what you were most excited for in Legends of the Mara. And the 3 kinds were the battle ally loot. Obviously we can see here there's Serum City. There's also other things like Renga and Forgotten Runes. There's also the spaceship parts, which are very prominently shown here. They're 4 out of 5 of this particular box. So we'll have to see what the other, we'll have to see what the pool of things you can pull in terms of the box pool. I don't know. I'll have to explain that later. But, most people voted for seasonal catalyst. So we'll actually pivot now. So what is a seasonal catalyst? And, this is probably the most important thing because it will turn your Mara into a Coda Mara in the catalysis process, right? And this is the most important. It is required. And we haven't necessarily been shown how to get these yet. So maybe we'll learn how to get these, closer to the end of the season, or maybe when more people have, fighters to fight off Shattered. But basically it'll take your Mara to a Coda Mara, and if you have optional sediment fragments, you can opt to use those as well. So why evolve into a Coda Mara? And basically if you take a look at the catalog of the game guide, it kind of shows us what one potential Coda Mara could look like in terms of aesthetics. And it is important to note the aesthetic is very, very fruity. Looks like a watermelon a little bit, maybe a strawberry, but it's very red and green. But if we take a look, the Coda Mara says, when a Mara ingests a catalyst and maybe some optional sediment fragments, it evolves into a Coda Mara that takes on the physical traits of its catalyst. That's a really important sentence, the physical traits of its catalyst. We'll revisit that in just a second, why that's important, and performs any of the 3 functions, right? So that's also really important. So any of the 3 functions refers to hunting, enchanting, and farming. So, Mars by themselves can only do their assigned role. Kodomars can do any of the three, and that's important, but obviously they're most effective at their original function, so they are specialized in that regards. But again, the evolution allows them to deal direct damage to Shattered and grant buffs to their team, so that also may allude to abilities as well. So again, I do want to revisit the takes on the physical traits of its catalyst. And this is a really important sentence, because if we actually take a look at the Zodiac, Mara evolution is tied to a celestial coordinate system, the Otherside Zodiac. And again, it is divided into four seasons, where we're going into the creation season, right? Creation, okay? And if you scroll down to the bottom, it says each season corresponds to 5 Otherside constellations. So each season has 5 types of constellations, right? So we can kind of see the creatures that represent each constellation, right? And I would point out that this one is a strawberry bunny, right? And we do know that there are 19 constellation creatures. These are not seasonal catalysts. I want to make that abundantly clear. These are artifacts. But this Jules one is red and green, and this Kodomar is very red and green. It looks very fruity. So I don't think that's any coincidence. Again, this is all speculation. So there's actually one constellation missing here. So that's kind of suspicious, in my opinion. You can take it for what you will. But if we scroll down, seasonal catalyst, right? We do know that a seasonal catalyst, the Kodomar takes on traits possessed by that catalyst. Nearly all catalysts possess traits that belong to one or another of the season's constellations. So that's really important. In terms of aesthetics, I personally am speculating that there's a set of catalysts that belong to each constellation, in varying rarities, and we know that the seasonal catalyst kind of affects the aesthetic of your Kodomara, right? This is a very red and green one, and we can kind of see the base aesthetic forms. Maybe that's my speculation, so take it for what you will. This is all with a grain of salt. But again, I do want to point out also, only the most uncommon kinds of catalysts, the hybrid catalysts, possess traits that belong to 2. So that's also a wild card. I'm not sure what they're thinking. Maybe they're merging a couple of these constellations. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just kind of throwing things out into the wind right now, but obviously fun things to think about, a little bit outside the realm of the guide. But, I would also point out that creation season catalysts are, outside of everything we already read, are limited and seasonal. Once they're gone for good. So it's going to be important to get your hands on them when you can. And, when the new seasons come in, there will be new catalysts. So again, there is a heavy emphasis on your catalysts, affecting the physical traits of your Kodomara. So that's going to be something that a lot of people are going to care about, as evidenced by this poll. It's going to be a highly, emotional investment. I personally do want to take part in creating really cool ones, right? So again, use a creation season catalyst for a Kodomar evolution, or wait to see what other catalysts appear in each new season. So again, you can only feed your Mara one catalyst one time, so you're going to need to choose wisely. So again, if it is like 20 different varieties and aesthetics, I do think that is a good base pool of different traits and abilities. But again, it's all up in the air. It's all up to Yuga. When we'll be able to know how to get these seasonal catalysts, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that comes later. So definitely hit that like and subscribe button if you found anything interesting or intriguing in this video. It was definitely good to theorycraft and see what was going on here. But you can always find me in the official Discords. Hit me up if you got any questions, or if you're just interested in playing Legends of Mara. But I'm about to hit my time limit. So we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm going to sign off. You know where to find me. I'll see you guys around. Peace.